What is going on? Governor Chisgule here, and today we're going to launch counter rallies to save cities. Alright, in this video, we are going to be launching counter rallies to save cities. That's right, the kingdom to the north of us was sending rallies that had an over 5-minute travel time to try to hit and zero cities that were, well, not on their own alliance territory. So we decided that we'd help out our allies and launch some counter rallies against these rallies that were coming in. You can see on the screen, we've got the reduced graphic setting on because there was so much going on in this part of the map. Folks try to chase down the rally and do damage to it, but because a rally has extra march speed, it's really hard to catch. Now you can also see in this video that it's an Attila Takeda combo that is doing the rallying here, so we know that is a very, very scary march to see coming at a city or a flag or a pass. So we thought we'd launch a counter rally. I don't know. The timing is so amazing. Let's talk about a couple things that make this all possible. First and foremost, relative positioning was super important here. We needed to position our city near where the rally was going to land to give us as much time as possible. And we tried to launch this rally with marches that would do as much damage as we possibly could. In this case, we thought that Saladin and Khan would be a lot of damage, also reducing the healing capability of Attila and, well, Takeda really, would be pretty powerful. There are other marches that we could have used for this operation, but cavalry seemed like the right pick for speed, and of course we're grooming who is in the rally just to make sure that we have all cavalry. Now, if you like this kind of content, by the way, where we're involved in rallies, counter rallies, you should like and subscribe because KVK Pass 5 is about to open and there is going to be all kinds of crazy that's about to happen. So that was one of the considerations when launching the rally. The next consideration was the time it would take to get there, right? Relative location, first and foremost, then time to get there. This rally was marching for 5 minutes. Now, when you launch a rally, it has a minimum amount of time to launch of 4 minutes, and that time will be extended if, in fact, other people are joining the rally but are too far away for it to launch on time. Now, that 4-minute launch time frame I mentioned is if you choose a 5-minute rally and have the maximum alliance technology that reduces that launch time by a minute, all the way down to a 4-minute launch. The thing that we tried to do was time our departure from our city so that we wouldn't chase this rally the wrong way around a pass and actually create a longer distance for ourselves by virtue of having the rally pathing not be effective. In this case, we waited a little bit too long to actually launch our rally, and the technique that we used here was having someone purposefully send a march from really far away, and we kick them out of the rally when we're ready for the rally to launch. Here you can see our allies were already swarming this particular rally, and our rally is on its way over. We're a few seconds late to the party, but when you've got, you know, over 1.5 million troops joining the party, you welcome the arrival of those troops, whether or not they're late or on time. And here you can see the defense is a level 25 city, and they've got Richard on the wall. Great choice for saving your city in this kind of a situation. And now we start to beat down on Attila Takeda doing 45,000, 48,000 plus skill damage. There's 62,000 skill damage. Woo-wee! Solid. But what I find so remarkable about all this is look how tanky Attila and Takeda are. It's honestly a little bit terrifying how well they're able to take that damage. The opposing side canceled their rally, and now we try to go and clean them up, but I think they did a pretty good job of using mobility commanders and all strong cavalry commanders that give a lot of march speed so that they could get away really quickly. One of those talents that you would want to use is Charge, which gives you 30% more march speed when you're below 50%, and you have all cavalry. Really solid choice, and for that reason, these folks are able to gain some distance, and heck, they sort of even use this as a technique to move some folks down the field to go and battle farmers, which is what you're seeing a little of on the screen at the moment. And then we'll pull up the report in just a second so you can see what this looked like. Now, the Attila Takeda in this particular case is not even expertise, neither of them. The Attila is something like, I want to say 5552, and the Takeda is 5554. So they're close to expertise, but they're not quite there. We had 16,000 severely wounded. They had 83,000. Okay, here comes another counter rally that we launch. Honestly, we had a huge amount of fun doing this. This was tremendously fun because, like, we're involved in a counter rally. We don't really have deaths on the line. We're getting kill event points. There was a lot of fun to this. P.S. We did rack up enough kill event points to unlock Leonidas. Be on the lookout for that video. You won't want to miss it. The animation on that commander is pretty sweet. We'll do a guide, blah, blah, blah. This rally comes in, hits a different city than the previous, and you can see, again, even though the rally has to go through a gauntlet of our own cities to get to where it's going, it's just so hard to hit a counter rally, or rather to hit a rally, because the rally alliance talents, the research there, makes that rally move so fast, especially since this is all cavalry. This thing is hoofing it. Plus, you really have a hard time hitting into a rally that's got like 2.4, 2 million troops, something like that. It's really tough to hit into that because you've got your 150% expanded march with 310,000. That's a difficult proposition, especially Attila Takeda we found to be remarkably tanky. Remarkably tanky. So we launch our rally here. Now, when it comes to combinations that you could use, if you weren't using cavalry, you could rock some infantry. Infantry that you would consider for an operation like this, if you wanted to minimize the amount of damage you were taking, would be like Alex and Martel, or now in the new view of the world, maybe like Alex and Guan Yu, with Guan being a primary. Guan and Leonidas will be really powerful, going in there and doing work. You also could use a more classic combination of like a Hannibal Barca with a Joan of Arc. That I think would be actually quite good at debuffing the rally. The thing I dislike about a Joan of Arc is that usually you're doing this to buff other folks that are nearby. And in this case, we're really kind of the only group from our alliance that is here. The swarm of players nearby that are our allies, they would not get the benefit of our Joan of Arc. So that's less compelling as a counter rally. No, the thing we wanted to do was just huge damage, which is why we chose the combos that we did. Now, if you're in the early game, huge damage combos that you could use for a counter rally would be something like Minamoto and Cao Cao. That would be pretty reasonable as a pairing. Even Minamoto and Isong would be fine. The only thing I worry about with AoE is that if somebody accidentally attacks your rally and then you start doing AoE, we will be hitting all of our allies here, which would kind of suck. So this particular rally that we launched didn't have as many people in it. In fact, this was one of the first counter rallies that we did successfully against these marches that were coming in deep into our Zone 5 area, hitting cities. And if I were doing this again, the thing that I would try to be cautious of is sort of conserving our teleports in the alliance. So to make sure that we are, getting a ride in somebody else's city and one person teleports down with a bunch of people, which is something we did well, but I think we'll always be looking to improve. So here you can see 26,000 that were wounded for us and 79,000 that were wounded for them. Really, we're trying to do anything we can to help our allies. Okay, a few parting thoughts before we go on other commander pairings you could have used. An Edward and Tamaris would have been really awesome for those counter rallies because Edward does a ton of damage. You don't have to worry about him taking damage. And Tamaris would make it so that the target is going to take a lot of extra skill damage, which I think that would be really powerful as a counter rally combo. Of course, Attila and Takeda seems fine battling into the cavalry. The reason, we did cavalry into cavalry. I like infantry into cavalry for obvious reasons. Infantry counters cavalry. That is the downside of using Edward and Tamaris, is that they're sort of weaker to cavalry because archers are countered by cavalry. So I don't know. I don't hate our choice with Saladin Khan. I think that perhaps archers would have offered maybe a little more DPS, but might have taken a little more damage. I guess, you know, a classic commander that you could use for this task would just be like, if you're in the early game, you could do Esong with El Cid. If this is a thing that you're dealing with, it's really unusual that a kingdom wants to commit so many troops downfield to try to zero a city, because there's just so much time for the defenders to try to do something about it. But I do appreciate that the kingdom to the north of us is here to play ball. They're playing for keeps, it seems, and should be a heck of a lot of fun when Pass 5 opens, which is going to be real soon, my friends. Real soon. We aren't going to live stream it, I don't think, because we have a responsibility and obligation to be in chat with our alliance members and in voice and fully participative, and like that seems really important to me. I don't know how you could live stream that unless you have no organizing capacity whatsoever, but maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a way to do it. I don't think I can do it. We'll see. All right, my friends. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, because again, this is the beginning of the crazy. Good luck to everyone in our Lost Kingdom 111. It's going to be crazy out there, and look, like, you know, it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. No hard feelings whatsoever. All of the kingdoms, I'm sure, are quite lovely and excellent. And until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.